right, Coach. 2 games this past week, ending in 2 ties. Just talk about the team's performance and what you see improving each week.
On Wednesday against UTPB, just again, similar to like Texas A&M International, different style, really kind of focused on the game within the game. So the little kind of things off the ball and, anytime you touch them and they fall down and, we just got distracted with that. We scored a great goal coming out at halftime and then unfortunately we give up a goal, a few minutes later. And we just have to continue to develop and, not let that happen. We work so hard defensively to keep a shutout, and then we let in the goal. And so still working on our attack, still working on trying to score more goals. Obviously it's been a year of low goal scoring for our team. Trying to work on that, and we go up to Dallas Baptist. We know that's going to be a tough game, but we've had good results there. We get good support there from all of our kids that are from Dallas, and people that know the history of that game and how close it's been. And this year was no different. We get out there, and our tall center back Tina kind of is waiting to win an aerial challenge, and the girl kind of looks like she backs under her, give up a pretty soft penalty kick. But Amber Lockwood came up huge, makes a big save there, keeps us in the game. And then we just kept on getting belief. With each minute, we're like, hey, we can get something out of this, at least a point. And defensively did a good job of negating their chances, making them shoot from distance. And I would say that a majority of the shots that they took were all from long distance and things that weren't too difficult for us to defend. They're kind of struggling, DBU's struggling right now with scoring goals. So they've got a lot of talent. But that final third, it's never easy. So,
how did facing a talented team like DBU and then tying with them ultimately help y'all, and what did y'all learn upon that game that y'all want to build on?
Well, hopefully what it is that, if we put in the right effort defensively, that we can always have a chance to minimize, goals against. And so if we can do that, we give ourselves a chance not to lose. So that's step one when you're kind of in the season that we're in, is make sure we don't lose. And then from there, if you can get a goal, then you have a chance to win. And so really for us in that game, we knew it was going to be all about defending, being really smart and not getting ourselves in trouble. And like we said, we had the penalty kick that we give up in the first 10, 12 minutes. That's always tough, but like I said, the mental rebound that we had was really good. And hopefully what this can be is a bit of a changing point in our season to have more belief in what we can do. So we'll see on Wednesday when we play against WT.
And then that leads me into my last question. WT this week at home, it's homecoming, a team that only has 1 win but also 5 ties. What are some things that y'all are focusing on in practice this week that you saw from last weekend as well, so y'all come out with the win?
I think defensively we need to continue to do the same thing. It can't just be that we're up for one opponent and then we forget about that in the next game. So consistency will be a huge part defensively. Attacking wise, we've done okay at home. We've in most games, I think we've been pretty close to their team in number of shots. But again, it's just got to be more proficiency in front of the goal. We got to put, if we get 6, 7 chances, we need a goal out of that. We can't be getting 13, 14 chances and no goals. And so we'll continue to work on goal scoring, and then we'll continue to sort of remind the girls of what kind of effort it takes to get a shutout. And hopefully we can combine those 2 things with homecoming, with our alumni game on Saturday. Hopefully we can get all those things together to get a win.
Coach, I'll go ahead and talk about Dallas Baptist for a minute. Obviously, the shots were a little bit one side in that game. Was one of the original plans to play really solid defense and just kind of hope to capitalize on a counterattack?
I don't know that we specifically talked about that as a plan. We knew that we needed to have good defending. We talked to the team that, listen, this is a place where we've historically had good performances. And so for us, it was about just having a good performance. We didn't necessarily talk about the result, but we talked about having a really strong performance and showing, the fans that come to that game that can't come to ones here in San Angelo, they could see what we could do. Obviously, we underperformed in attack, but we still had a couple of chances where maybe, if we're not so nervous, because when you get fewer chances, it puts more pressure on those fewer chances, to not make a mistake. And I think in a couple of those, we just kind of rushed it a little bit. But yeah, we knew we were going to have to play solid defending. We knew that DBU has kind of had some ties that, most people from the outside would look at and say, oh, that should have been a win. But, one of the results that I looked at was they played against UTPB and they had 24 shots to 0 and they only went 2-0. And so we knew that they were kind of probably going through something. You get that many shots and you can only get 2 goals, there's something going on. And the fact that the other team had no shots. So we got to put our head down and kind of get to work and do what we can to scratch something out. If we can't get a win, at least get a draw.
And Coach, I know that they're obviously not wins, so it's not like the result that y'all are shooting for every
Right.
week, but like you still got 2 draws this week. Like what do you think that does for the girls' confidence, and what growth have you seen from this young team, like just throughout this process where you're not making the big mistake to lose these types of games where you are playing solid defensively and you are pulling draws?
I think part of that would probably be the trust and buy-in to some of the tactical things that we're asking them to do, some of the strategy stuff. Against DBU, well, going back to Fort Lewis, for example, we had this big, long chalk talk with the girls and said, this is what we need to do, this is what we need to do. And the girls decided to, just go by the seat of their pants and do what they wanted to. And we're down 1-0 15 minutes in against Fort Lewis. And so we talked to them at halftime about, listen, you have to trust us that the ideas that we're giving you got to try them. And if they need adjustments, then we'll come back and adjust them. And I think that we're at a point now where in that game, we made a tactical adjustment that had a pretty significant impact, gave us a lot more confidence, a lot more cover in the midfield. And really, I think that was probably the difference, is that we made that adjustment, they tried it, it worked, they stuck with it, didn't veer off the plan, stayed focused for the whole time. We gave up a couple chances late, but still pretty focused overall in getting their job done and not sort of taking a mental vacation, at a critical moment in the game. And so I think those things are where the team is gaining a lot of experience and a lot of belief in what it takes to be successful in college. And when you're talking about a young team, that's a big step that they have to make. Usually they get to make that in little bits and pieces here and there along the way in the games, in the season. But this is a team where we don't have that depth, and if they don't learn it right away, we've had some poor results in games. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing, is the buy-in and implementing the plan and staying focused.
Thank you, Coach.
All right,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it.